everyone, and welcome to the American Motors Guy. I told everyone that my next video would be this Eagle, and I would be doing some filming of doing some repair work. Well, after trying to set the camera up and put my big head and my big fat arms and everything else up in the way, you can't see squat. So I don't have a lift. I'm not that advanced in my garage. As you can tell, I only have 8-foot ceilings, but better jack stands would probably be helpful. So I will be investing in that in the meantime, or a better set of jacks. But what happened with this Eagle is this car was my brother's. He had bought it, I believe, in 1990, so it was 2 years old when he purchased this vehicle. It was his wife's main mode of transportation, hauling the kids and that sort of stuff. It was the family car. And then it was parked when he bought a piece of property in North Carolina, down in the Outer Banks. And this was a 4-wheel drive, so, you know, hey, I'm gonna use it as a beach buggy, dude. You know, hey, man, okay, whatever. And the car sat, didn't get used hardly at all. And he was working a lot of hours at Ford, and I eventually asked him for the car, and he gave it to me. So I told him, I said, dude, I'm gonna have this thing on the road in no time. And it has completely and utterly bit my tail end completely off. Everything I do, I have to do it twice, sometimes 3 times. It just, nothing wants to work. Nothing wants to. This car is fighting me every single step of the way. Found out the engine was locked up. I have photographs. I'll show. I'm going to pop those in with the video. You'll see what I was fighting. But what had happened is the water was running down directly from the shed that my brother had and right down into the cow. And that water eventually rotted out the windshield wiper backing plate. And then after that it had done, the water started running down and going directly around the grommet for the rear PVC valve and the valve cover. And it was just pouring down on top of it, and water was splashing, got into the motor, and eventually filled up cylinder 6 and 5 with water. And sat there and eventually just rusted completely shut. It would not move. I ended up getting another engine out of I guess it would be an XJ model for the Postal Service that they built for 2 years. Neighbor had gotten one and was going to, obviously, I'm gonna put an LS in it. And I didn't know it was. I thought it was the S10 style. No, it was not. It was the XJ style, the square body Jeeps. And it had the 258 motor in it. And I asked him what was he going to do with the engine. He goes, boat anchor. So I went over and looked at it, and I got the motor and the transmission, which is a 904 transmission. And I'm like, okay, great. And we had it running in that little truck motor and that little truck, and it ran fine. So when we put it in the Eagle, yeah, everything ran. We had to change the oil pan and a few other little odds and ends that you had to change. And we popped those on there and set the motor back down in there. And I was just ecstatic. We cranked it up, and I got a little video of that. And you see me go cut it because I was just aggravated because this rear main seal was just friggin' pouring oil. And I was like, I gotta pull the motor again. So pulled the motor again, rear main oil seal in it, because everything on the car, I mean, every gasket on this block, had the heads redone. Everything was done. I don't know why it leaked like it did, but it was just pouring oil. So, had to redo the rear main seal. So that was done. Pulled the motor back out, put the motor back in, and then was dealing with the front differential. So, I had it all ready to go to the Nationals. At least it was running and driving. It sounded like crap. Couldn't figure out what happened. But what happened is when I pulled the motor the second time for that rear main seal, I guess when I was putting it back in by myself, I slammed or bumped into something and it hit the backing plate. So when it hit the backing plate, when it was in gear, the torque converter, I guess, would engage just enough, and you get the metal hit spin, and man, I was like, I gotta pull it again. So instead of pulling the motor this time, I went and just pulled the transmission. We pulled it back. My son was here to help me with that, and laying on your back, pulling that transmission out, that's pretty rough. But we got it all put back together, found the bent spot in the plate, fixed that, put it all back together, and now I am still back to dealing with the front differential. Now the front differential is a Dana 30 is what they call it. So we're in the process of, I've got the rebuild kit, but I am still working on getting each and every little gear re-cleaned, because that same water that was pouring down into the valve cover was pouring down directly onto the nipple for the vent of the front differential, and it had rotted it out and filled it with water as well. And couldn't understand why every time I went to go put the front axles on that it would lock up. And then when we finally figured that out, I was like, something ain't right. But yeah, this car has fought me tooth and nail, but we are down to the front differential and then I believe tires. And I believe it will be, oh no, I still have rear quarter glasses to pull and reseal. They are leaking. So just a few more odds and ends to do. So like I said, y'all, I apologize. I've made all this hype about getting up underneath this car, and with the stand and everything and something to hold the phone so that I can record. Probably need maybe smaller cameras and stuff, but right now I'm still new at all this. So I apologize for all of that, but here's some photographs, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, and to share, okay? All right, we'll see you on the next one. I hope to do some more walking around videos, and my intentions are to head out to the SS AMX reunion at the Edgewater Park. That show is going to be awesome. You need to watch the show videos. It gives you a lot of information of who's doing what and where. So we got AMC Rendezvous. I got a bunch of different shows that's happening all over the country. So keep those videos in mind. Watch those. Know where the shows are so you can go see a bunch of AMCs. All right, we'll catch you on the next round, folks.